Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it, Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and I'm here. We're getting some intro music and stuff. We're trying all kinds of new things right here on Dead on Dave Productions. What's going on? Welcome to the channel. Yeah, rocking out. Okay, so the question is, what the hell happened on Raw? The answer, I don't know yet because I haven't watched it. So we're going to try something new. I thought this would be fun. I was hurting. I wasn't able to stay up to watch Raw last night, nor was I able to get on Joe Cronin's show because I was just in too much pain, and sitting up was not something I was really looking forward to do, so I didn't. And I just drugged out and went to sleep, man. That was it. So what I thought would be fun is if I go ahead and watch Raw now. And I'm going to give you live reactions after each and every single segment. How does that sound? I think it'll be fun. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start watching Raw, and you will get my live reaction and breakdown after every single second. Let's go. 13 minutes in. 13 minutes in. And I've got to say, that is the best opening to a Monday Night Raw that I've seen in a very, very long time. First, Sting looks amazing. He really does. He looks like he's really got himself in shape for this moment. Looks like he's going to, especially since Survivor Series when he first debuted, he looked a little doughy, but he looks really good here. And he looks like he is ready for this match. And maybe even a little bit of a run. I've heard this is not supposed to be just a one-match deal, so that'd be awesome. Also, I got to say, man, he could still pump up a crowd. The guy could still talk. His mic skills have always been underrated. He's never really been a big talker, but when he does, he's able to elicit a lot of emotion. And some guys, the older they've gotten, Ric Flair, I kind of have to put him in that category, has kind of lost that ability. He's not as quick-witted as he used to be, and sometimes he's a little more marble-mouthed than he used to be. But Sting, amazing. Clear, concise, short and sweet, but energetic. My God, this was such a good moment. Seeing Stephanie come out blew my mind because seeing those two in the ring together, for one, just what an amazing moment in wrestling history. We're always going to remember that. Two, Stephanie is so smoking hot. Is there anyone better besides Paul Heyman on the mic than Stephanie McMahon right now? I mean, really. Every time she speaks, it's gold. She tore Sting apart. And Sting, to his credit, before she came out, was talking great things about how it'd be stupid to be fighting for WCW. I'm just here to kick Triple H's ass. And I like that. I also really like how Stephanie was the whole dog thing. You know, comparing him to a dog. And at the end of the day, dogs are kind of stupid. And I'm a dog guy. She's kind of right. Loyal, but kind of dumb. And if I'd compare you to dogs, but I don't want to insult dogs. It was great. I love that she tried for her trademark slap because Stephanie loves to slap people. Sting catches it, which I thought was cool. But the coolest thing, and it was really subtle. This promo was good for a lot of epic reasons, but it was the subtlety that I really liked. The wave. And they barely caught her waving to him. Right at the end, as soon as Triple H was coming out, she waved. I loved that. I absolutely loved that. She gets out of the ring. Triple H comes down. The first thing he does, he walks around and he checks on Stephanie. That's something else I liked. Didn't have to do that. She could have stayed in the back of the ring. He could have came up to the front and they could have ambushed him or something like that. But instead, he goes around the ring and checks on her. I like that. It's a subtle nuance that you wouldn't think they would be doing. But Triple H, thinking man's guy, goes and checks on her. He's about to get in the ring. She pulls out the sledgehammer. Again, a subtle little nod. She just had her slap caught, so she's the one who takes out the sledgehammer. There's so much about this promo that I enjoyed. So much about this whole segment that really, really juiced me up. I'm glad they didn't come to blows, by the way. They didn't need to. Just having Sting there, kicking off a Monday Night Raw, was an epic moment enough. Having him talk for the first time, other than on the network, he had that thing last week, but he hasn't talked yet on actual camera. They had a voiceover once. It was probably him, but voice modulated, even though I thought it was someone else. And then last week on the network. But this is the first time that he's actually spoken, and it was to kick off a Raw, and it was absolutely perfectly done. I loved it. Absolutely loved everything about it. Maybe I'm just marking for Sting because I am such a Sting guy, and to see him on Raw, seeing him at WrestleMania, it's getting me excited for this match. Maybe not the entire card yet, but certainly this match. I love that Sting was really getting the crowd into it, trying to get Triple H into the ring. I love the bat. I love the sledgehammer. I'm sure they're both going to come into play at WrestleMania. I friggin' loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then moving on from that, they go right into a WWE app, and Orton's opponent is going to be chosen tonight by the fans. Big Show, Kane, or Seth Rollins and J&J. So that'll be cool. Let's get back into it. I'm going to watch the next segment. Here we go. 15 minutes in, and I wanted to stop real quick because I saw a couple things I wanted to make quick reference to. First, Nikki Bella decided that she's going to defend her title tonight against either AJ or Paige, and she's going to let them decide which one. I like that. Even though it's not happening at WrestleMania, I don't think there'll be a title change, obviously, but I do enjoy the fact that they're at least bringing up the prospect of the title being involved in some way, shape, or form, and causing conflict between those two to do it is a way to open the door to possibly defending the title at WrestleMania in some way. I know it's not going to happen, but at least they're making reference to it, because that was the one thing that was missing from this feud and from this match, is just at least bring up the title, talk about it, something, and finally they did, and they kind of incorporated. I kind of like that. Also, the next match I'm about to check out, Dean Ambrose will team with R-Truth versus Luke Harper and Stardust. So the four most crazy fucking people in the match are teaming together. What could possibly go wrong? So after this match, 25 minutes in, the match is over. Fantastic first match of the evening. I got to say, all four of these guys really did show a lot. They all got some offense and they all got some time into the ring. Stardust, I really can't wait to see what he does after this, because I think the guy has main event potential. Maybe it's just because I just saw Sting, and maybe it was also because the first thing Cody did was do like a Stinger yell. I don't know. But there's something about Stardust. The way he moves. I know he's not as big, especially as Sting used to be, like muscular. But there's something about the way that he moves. It just reminds me of young Sting. I can't even defend as to why. I think he's a better worker than Sting was. I think he's a better all-around wrestler back in the day, because Sting was, great athlete, but not a lot of moves. In a lot of ways, I mean, you can kind of look at Sting as almost like a Roman Reigns back then when he first came in. And that might not be a very popular statement. And in fact, a lot of people might be kind of pissed off. But if you go back and you look, most of what sold Sting in the 80s was his look and his athleticism in the ring. He didn't have to do a lot. In fact, he was elevated by bigger stars around him. The fact that he was able to take on the biggest and best in the industry and constantly look good is part of the reason what got Sting over so easily, so quickly. And don't underestimate the fact that his look was so amazing. I think that's something that they're kind of hoping for with Reigns. It just hasn't. It's a different look. Let's face it. It's a different type of look. So I don't know. But I just see something similar about Stardust. Everybody else in the match was great. Luke Harper seems to have gotten that spark back that he didn't have for a few weeks or a month even. But Luke Harper seems to really have tuned up his ring work. His mannerisms are fantastic. Bad News Barrett was on commentary. He was fantastic. I really enjoy hearing Bad News Barrett talk. He's very good. Afraid I've got some bad news. I love everything that he says. He's really funny. He's witty. He's very quick. And goddamn is he big. You kind of forget how big and intimidating he really is. Wade Barrett is such a big guy. And he just seems like he could really kick some asses. I wouldn't want to walk up to him in a dark alley or something. He looks like he whoops some ass. And I love how every time somebody looked at him or pointed at him or got out of the ring and got in his face, he'd be like, "What? Step up." I kind of liked that. I liked everything that he did. I thought he really worked the commentary really well. By the way, I think WWE is watching my shows because if you noticed, Booker T was spouting off betting odds. Where did you see that first? You saw it right here because I was giving betting odds off, and they give the exact same ones that I did, which I thought was funny. So they must have went to the same site. Something they don't normally do is talk about betting odds. They never do that. I kind of found it interesting. They talked about betting odds. Yeah, what are you going to do? You're welcome, WWE. Well, send me a check. Of course, Dean Ambrose, once again, he's showing that while he's probably the least, and that's including R-Truth, the least technical of the four guys, and maybe even least well-rounded, because R-Truth, while he's not a technical guy here in the WWE either, he's very well-rounded in his moveset and what he's able to do and the high-flying stuff. Dean Ambrose is proving to be the most overall well-rounded guy of the four, I think, because the things that he does in the ring, combined with his look, combined with his attitude, combined with his psychological advantage that he has over everybody else, maybe aside from Luke Harper, who I also think it just works an amazing psychological match. Really, all four of these guys are good at that, but Dean is probably the best of the four, just in my opinion. And this match was really nice. It was a good opening match, a lot of fun. I thought R-Truth getting the victory, and then a little goofy dancing out of Dean Ambrose after the match. I didn't even mind it because the way Dean Ambrose handled it, because he didn't stop being Dean Ambrose, you know? Like a lot of times you'll see wrestlers when they do something gimmicky or something that's not themselves after a match, they stop being themselves and just gimmick. He didn't do that. He did it with the Dean Ambrose type of visage, and it was cool, man. It was a nice little nuance. So back to the auction. 28 minutes in, after a Special Olympics presentation and a Roman Reigns promo vignette, I should say, they really are either doing one of two things. They're either hammering home the fact that Roman Reigns is definitely winning the title, and he always was, and they told us a year ago, or they're setting us up for one of the biggest and best swerves. Because, man, everything is pointing to Roman Reigns is a beast. He's a monster. Look at him. He's the one. He's this. He's that. All these superlatives. But I just have a feeling that it's for a letdown. It's all this build to kind of go and say, haha. And you know what? I got to give credit to a caller on Joe Cronin Show tonight. I've been saying that I think Roman's going to lose, and then they're going to kind of pull him back a little bit and then rebuild him. And, you know, not even pull him back, but I mean, like, go off of this loss and then let him rebuild, like maybe even winning Money in the Bank. Now, somebody had a really good idea. So a caller, I wish I remembered his name, but I don't. Because you don't have a show, damn it. No, I'm kidding. What he said was, it would be cool if they played off of this loss, and that's what propelled Roman Reigns into next year's WrestleMania. And keeping Brock Lesnar as champion is something that I've also proposed as well, because I think it would be really cool to have Brock Lesnar as champion next year. What a cool opportunity for a rematch that would be much bigger than this match. If it was next year, Brock Lesnar defends throughout the year 6-7 times or whatever, maybe, probably not even that many times, but let's hope he does. And nobody's able to take him down, and then Roman Reigns gets the opportunity again at next year's WrestleMania. Hopefully not by winning the Royal Rumble, but anything can happen between now and then, so you never know. But gets another opportunity, and it's all about redemption. That would be kind of cool, and it's something that they've been doing lately with WrestleMania events. They've been coming in twos a lot of times. WrestleMania main events have been coming in twos. We got The Rock and Cena. We got Triple H and Undertaker. Now, they might not always end in redemption, but that rematch tend to always outdraw the first. While it's not always a better match, it always seems to out. In fact, it hardly is a better match, but it always seems to outdraw the first. And in this case, another year of build for Roman Reigns after giving him that disappointment of a loss, which I think, by the way, a loss would help him get over with the crowd, something a lot of people aren't bringing up. I think a loss for Roman Reigns would help get him over more than a win would. I mean, look, the fact that he's going to have this disappointment, he's going to have this chip knocked off of his shoulder, the crowd is going to cheer so heavily at WrestleMania for that loss. But after it, if Roman does something really cool the next night, I think the crowd could really get behind him. So that might be a way to fix this situation without really damaging his long-term projection. Because let's face it, the guy still has an amazing upside. He's got a big ceiling. So back to the action. 31 minutes, 30 seconds in, had to stop. Okay. I'm sure a lot of people aren't going to love it, but I love this little backstage thing with Miz and Mizdow, Will Ferrell, and Kevin Hart. I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was really good. Will Ferrell, I'll get you water, Miz. I thought that was great. Just something new, something a little bit different that they're adding to kind of freshen up this whole thing between Miz and Mizdow, which if they're going to continue it, which I'm hoping it gets dropped at WrestleMania, but if they were going to continue it, there's a little something extra. They're showing, hey, we could do a little bit more, which is kind of cool, but probably it's best just to let this whole Mizdow thing go. But I thought it was a really cool segment, and like I'm a Will Ferrell guy, so anytime I get to see Will Ferrell be funny, works for me. So 10-man tag team match up next. Let's see how this one goes. Yufa. Bill Simmons on commentary. Ooh, Bill Simmons on commentary. I wonder how that's going to go. Him and JBL have been sparring on Twitter, so let's see what happens here. So 39 minutes in, 39:43 in, I should say, end of the 10-man tag team match, which I was expecting to be very disappointing. It turned out to be pretty damn good. The participants were the Ascension, who is now going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal out of nowhere. Miz and Mizdow and Adam Rose versus Ryback, who's the most over guy in this match, probably tied with Mizdow. The fans are getting behind Ryback, and they're going to have to address this because Ryback's kind of disappeared since Survivor Series. They're going to really have to do something with him, and maybe winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is a start because he's super over right now. He's hitting on all cylinders, and he seems to be getting better. The primetime players, Eric Rowan, who everybody seems to have completely dismissed. He's done. And the guy that I guess was Zack Ryder. Now, I want to talk about this for a second. Zack Ryder in this match, I didn't know it was Zack Ryder until they said it was Zack Ryder. His look is so changed now. He looks so vanilla, so ordinary. You know, go back to even the one-legged pants was better than how he's looking right now. I really just don't like the outfit. I don't like the hair. I don't like anything that he's doing right now. Because one thing that Zack Ryder had going for him was at least he stood out. At least he looked a little different. And now he doesn't. He's very ordinary, and that's unfortunate. Because it was the one thing he had going for him. The one thing he had going for him was his look, and now he doesn't even have that. So as for the match, it was a good match. The Ascension didn't really do too much. They didn't really need to. This was all about Miz, Mizdow, and then really Ryback. Ryback was the star of this match. When he came in, he bulldozed everybody. I mean, there were some decent actions. Titus O'Neil, I still think, could be a big star. He's got the perfect look. If they could just get him to be a uber heel, I think he could, like a really good heel, not the corny heel he was before. I mean a good heel, and get him into a title picture, not the main title picture, but let him do something because he's so strong, man. And I like big guys. I like smaller guys too. I like the technical wrestlers and all that. Don't get me wrong. I love Daniel Bryan. I love all those guys, but I like the bigger guys who can move and and dominate and have some fun too. And Titus O'Neil is in that vein. I really like this dude. You know, part of my attraction to wrestling when I was a kid was these larger-than-life guys. And as I've gotten older, you know, I like the guys who defy the odds and the Rockies and stuff. Then don't get me wrong, they're great. But still, there's this little kid in me who's just always like, man, Titus O'Neil, these guys at Ryback, they're so big, they're so awesome, they're larger than life. And it's just really cool, especially when you're getting into a Memorial Battle Royal that's for Andre the Giant, which is pretty neat. I'm starting to think that Ryback's got a really good chance to win this thing straight out. We'll see what happens a little bit later on with Curtis Axel. I'm sure he's going to have a segment. We'll see what happens with him. And I've already kind of been spoiled. I know a little bit that happens with that segment, but still, we'll see how that goes. Bill Simmons, by the way, did a pretty good job. He's not the great. See, I like his writing, but I've never been a big fan of him speaking. He does a lot of things. I've seen him on the Sports Reporters. I've seen him on, I know he does radio. He has got his own show. I've seen him with Tony Kornheiser on Pardon the Interruption, but I've never liked his straight-out speaking ability. And here's another thing. If you're going to be on the announce team, don't show up in a fucking sweater hoodie thing, a zip hoodie. Come on. Come on, man. Jeez, wear jeans or something, but wear a sport coat. Have a little bit of freaking class, just a tiny bit. I mean, this is a televised event. It's a serious thing. Don't act like... I think it's just kind of how real sports guys kind of show their disdain for wrestling. Now, I know he's a wrestling fan and everything, but I think it's kind of belittling to the sport a little bit. He's like, because everywhere else he goes, when he's on TV for ESPN and stuff, you see him in suits, you see him well dressed. But for wrestling, because it's wrestling, it's not real. I'm going to be announcing a match, but I'm going to do it in a friggin' hoodie. I mean, come on. Maybe that just bugs me. I don't know. Wouldn't be the first thing. All right, let's see what's going on next. About 49 minutes in. Remember, the times that I'm giving when I'm saying 49 minutes, 37 minutes, it's without commercial, so don't be too confused. 49 minutes in. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins and J&J Security, as voted by you, the WWE Universe. I kind of thought it was going to be a throwaway match, but it turned out to be a pretty decent affair because what it does is it really built the match for Randy and Seth because there was a lot of cat and mouse. Seth not getting involved unless it was on his terms, unless it was under his guidelines. I kind of like that because it went back to that whole architect feel, where he was going to dictate how and when he was going to take shots at Randy Orton. I like that. Also, Jamie Noble getting a little bit of offense in. I kind of enjoyed that too. I like Jamie Noble. I wish he wasn't so damn small because I love his attitude and I love hearing him talk. He's such a country fuck. I love that. Randy Orton just being Randy. And I kind of like the grizzled look, the older gray beard look of Randy Orton. It's kind of cool. But the match overall wasn't bad. It was kind of went the way that you thought it would go as far as Randy winning, hitting the double DDT on J&J Security and all of that. But the cool part of it was Seth Rollins getting involved and almost hitting the curb stomp and just really toying with Randy Orton. That was the cool part of this match. And it was what made the match really work for me. So far, I have not been disappointed with anything that I've seen on Raw. Not bad at all. It's building to a good point. I'm really, really excited to see where the rest of Raw goes. I hope it continues this really positive trajectory because it's making, and now look, I could also be getting excited about WrestleMania because we're in WrestleMania week. We're 5 days away. That could have something to do with it. But this Raw is getting me a little bit excited about it, I have to say. It's not a fantastic thing, but just each match that I'm watching is just being like, okay, it's instantly pointing me to something I want to see at WrestleMania. And that's what it's supposed to do. A go-home show doesn't necessarily have to be explosive and bring the house down and set up all these amazing things. What a go-home show is supposed to do is point you to things that you want to see at WrestleMania. Show you stuff that you can't miss. Why you have to watch this pay-per-view. That's any go-home show, not just WrestleMania's go-home show. Any go-home show. That should be the key objective. point you to things that you want to pay for. That's what it's supposed to do. And so far, this Raw has done that. Let's get back to it. 51-24. Seriously? Swagger and Rusev? Swagger and Rusev again? Seriously? Why? Even just the announcement for the match later makes me insane. Why? Why again? Why? Someone tell me. Someone tell me why. I need to know why. WHY. Someone tell me. I need to know. Swagger Rusev. What the fuck? Cena talking about how WrestleMania is not about him. I couldn't even say it without laughing. It's not about me. It's about stopping a man like Rusev. And I don't know why I'm being Nixon, but I'm being Nixon. I don't know why. Okay. It's not about me. It's the most important match of my career, but it's not about me. I fucking love this guy. He's such an asshole. John Cena, what an asshole. I love John Cena, though. Partially. Love him and I hate him. I love the guy. I hate the wrestler. That's kind of what it is. That's funny. Back to the action. 52-34 in. I want to have copious amounts of sex with both AJ Lee and Paige. Paige together. Copious amounts of sex with the big guy. How about that? Oh, just amazing. Oh, by the way, latest rumor. This is based off nothing. It's just getting a lot of rounds in the dirt sheets and on Twitter. People are saying this. Now, is it possible, based off some tweets, they look kind of innocuous to me, but there's been a lot of them between AJ and Punk, and I guess AJ stopped following CM Punk for a short amount of time and then refollowed him. I don't know. Is there a possibility that there's trouble in paradise? Ooh. It wouldn't be surprising in a lot of ways because of the fact that she has stayed with the WWE. And I've read some comments that he did in an interview recently, CM Punk, about, watching AJ and everything. He just doesn't seem to give that much of a fuck. He seems really extra bitter towards WWE recently, and probably because of the lawsuit. That's what you get for going on a fucking interview show and saying a whole bunch of things that about a world-class doctor that may or may not be true. You're going to get sued. Just how it is. What was he expecting to happen? He called this doctor who has a world-class pedigree, working with the Olympics, working with multiple frigging college football team, basketball teams, women's soccer teams. He went with the women's soccer team to the fucking Olympics. This doctor, this Anan or whatever, Aman, whatever his name is. What was Punk expecting if he went and said all of these things, calling him incompetent by name and all of these things? What was he expecting? Of course he's going to get sued. This guy's got a reputation, whether it's true or not. This guy's got a reputation to protect. Of course he's going to get sued. What was he expecting? Anyway, Punk has seemed extra bitter lately. On a tweet I read the other day, which I thought was it's so bitter. I just found a whole bunch of urns in my garage. Anyone want this shit? Just so bitter. What's the point? Nobody cares anymore. Stop. Just stop. Focus on your UFC career, okay? Because your ass is probably going to get knocked the fuck out. So focus on that, all right? Let's try that. Focus on that. Don't focus on WWE anymore. But maybe perhaps there is something going on with him and AJ. And I don't even want to really bring it up because it's barely a rumor. But I found it interesting because it's been reported by a lot of different sites. And a lot of people are talking about it on social media. So I thought it would be something worth bringing up. What do you guys think about that? Put in the comment section below. AJ and Punk? Divorce? What do you guys think? Let me know. Back to the action. Okay, 54-17 in the start of the Nikki Bella versus Paige for the Divas title match is about to begin. All right, there was something that happened about a week ago. I made a comment about Brie Bella because I tease her. I've said many times the only thing I want to do to Brie Bella is throw a sandwich at her. And somebody took exception to it, and we got into a match on the comment section about going back and forth because the guy kind of took offense to the fact that I was, I guess, skinny shaming Brie, and then he took a shot at me being fat and everything. He later apologized for it and everything. That's perfectly fine. That's not really the point of it. But he was going on and on about how the fact that I, said something about Brie Bella. Here's the thing, and I want to explain this here because I want people to understand where I'm coming from. It has nothing to do with the fact that Brie is skinny, all right? It has something to do with the fact that she desperately, and if you watch Total Divas, you know that this is true, she desperately went to extreme measures to lose an insane amount of weight, and my feeling is it has affected her in-ring ability. She has dropped divas. I've seen her do it to Alicia Fox on 3 separate occasions over the past 3 or 4 months. I've seen her not be able to have core strength to lift a diva who's very small in her own right. She might be tall, but she's not heavy. In Summer Rae, I've seen her make mistakes that could be directly attributed to the fact that she has lost an extreme amount of weight, and now she cannot seem to be able to perform to the same level that she might have been able to do when she was at a normal weight with her sister. Now, people could say that Nikki Bella got heavier. I don't think that Nikki Bella has gained a friggin' pound except for those jugs that she had implanted into her. And you know what? God bless her for doing it, by the way. I don't think that she's gained a pound. It's just she looks so much bigger than Nikki or Brie because Brie's lost so much weight. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing for anyone to lose weight. I am desperately trying to lose all my super poundage that I gained after I got hurt a few years ago when I was in Iraq. I'm trying to lose that weight. Been trying to for the last year. I was at 440 pounds. I'm down to around 3. In the past 2 years, I've lost almost 140 friggin' pounds. Quietly, in little increments, because I know that's how you're supposed to lose weight. The most important thing about losing weight is knowing how to lose weight. Healthily. I don't think that's the right word, but in a health-conscious way, in a way, safely. Lose weight safely. And in a way that'll help you keep it off. And I don't know if Brie was necessarily doing those type of things. It doesn't seem like it to me. Yes, she has no body fat on her. Congratulations. She also has no core strength and no ability to perform maneuvers that she needs to do within the wrestling ring. Maybe it's one of the reasons why she wants to stop being a wrestler. I know it's because she wants to be a mom and all of that too, and she's, the 30 now. But at the same time, you have to start wondering, how much is it going to affect her and how much has it? I feel it has a lot, so I brought it up. And I got attacked for it a little bit, but like I said, it's all been resolved. I just wanted to get it out there because it was something that was kind of gnawing at me. All right, let's check out this Divas Championship match. Let's see how this goes. Is it going to be a roll-up? Let's find out. 1 hour, 3 minutes in. Before I get into this Divas tag team or this Divas title match, which, wow, I just noticed something. Brie looks like she's put back on a little bit of the weight that I thought that she lost. It looks like she looks a little bit more healthy to me now. Something I just noticed. I was watching her in this match, and people might say, why don't you have the same standards for AJ? Well, because AJ doesn't try to do the same type of maneuver. She's a wily. She doesn't pick. I don't think AJ ever picks anybody up. AJ is a small little tiny girl. We know this about her. But anyway, I digress. Okay. If we get Divas title matches like this between Paige and Nikki Bella, people are going to shut the fuck up about the problems in the Divas division. This was a good match. Not just a good match. It was a great match. For a Divas match nowadays, I'm going to call that great. I'm not going to compare it to NXT because obviously then it would just be a good. But for what we get off of WWE television when it comes to Divas matches, that was great. Back and forth, a lot of good action, a good ending that, you know what the ending does, and it's the most important thing about it. Paige didn't have to win this title. What this ending does with AJ hitting her, it sets up more intrigue for WrestleMania. And it also sets up for the opportunity if they want to make the change for WrestleMania. It puts things in that perspective that, hey, If they want to make this a fatal four-way, they have the opportunity now because they've put the seeds there. Now, it's very possible it was only there to further the storyline. Can these two get along? Can these frenemies coexist to take on a cohesive unit like the Bellas? Now, that's possible too. And even if that's the case, they accomplished it here because the ending was good. Nikki worked a very, very good match. Paige always seems to have some very nice performances. I'm very happy with it. The crowd seemed into it more than they usually are for a Divas match. Good match. Very good match. I'm very happy with the way they highlighted the Divas. I only wish they would do this at WrestleMania because they would get such a good reaction. If that type of match, especially if it was a four-way, had that type of go. Can you imagine on the grandest stage of them all, that type of match? What great publicity. But I'll take it on a Raw, especially a go-home show. I thought it was a pretty damn good match. Tell me what you guys think. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for how much I'm liking Raw so far? Am I insane? But I don't know. We'll see. Based off a lot of things I watched from the Joe Cronin show, disappointment is heading my way like a freight train. I got a truck of disappointment about to plow straight on to my big ass. We'll see what happens. Back to the action. 1 hour, 6 minutes in, and I did not see the brawl between Paige and AJ when I gave my last update here. Wow, that was a cool little brawl they had, and we'll see if they can patch things up for WrestleMania. Also, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan tonight, one-on-one with the WWE Universe choosing the special guest referee. I kind of like this. Should be a good match. But did Booker T just say Snoop D-O double jizzle? Jizzle? Jizzle. 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 Tell me I did not just see that. We'll see what happens with the Snoop Digga dog. Oh, God, why do I feel like I'm about to walk into a minefield? We'll see. 1 hour and 15 minutes in, and I got to say, I'm just having fun, man. I'm just having fun at this point. I thought this promo had no hope of being good. Snoop comes out. He's funny. He's interesting on the mic. He could talk well. Axel comes out. He's doing his Axel things, still getting over and stuff. It's still great. And then Snoop brings out Hulk Hogan, and he does it in a cool way. You forgot about One Mania, and that was cool. I called for Hogan to confront Axel at WrestleMania. Obviously, they jumped the gun a little bit. Probably is getting that out of the way because Axel has no chance of winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That's fine. This was a good payoff to the whole storyline, I think, with Axel. It was funny. The best part of it, though, is seeing Snoop rip that friggin' shirt off. And, of course, after Hulk Hogan said, "You know better than anyone, brother. What's this brother smoking?" That was great. Snoop ripping that shirt off and looked like... you ever see the episode of The Simpsons, The Day the Violence Died? Itchy and Scratchy. And they show a picture of the first character that the creator of Itchy and Scratchy made, Manic Mailman. That's what friggin' Snoop looked like. He looked like Manic Mailman. My God, just a stick figure. It was great. Great. That brother is skinny. Damn. Those are pipe cleaner arms. But he looks good though. It's funny. Oh my God. Now I see why most of the time when you see Snoop, he does not wear sleeveless attire. And we found out why tonight. Boy, that was great. I'm just having fun. I'm having fun throughout this entire show. I'm just having a blast watching this, and I'm really enjoying this new way of presenting it. I'm not going to be able to do it very often because, I did a Joe Cronin show, so I already watched Raw. But this is pretty cool. I'm having a lot of fun, and this Raw has been entertaining as shit. I hope it doesn't stop. I hope it continues because this has been entertaining. Stop.
I was put on this earth.
So, 1 hour, 22 minutes in, and I had to sit through an interspecies tag team match. Again, basically the same match as it was on SmackDown, but worse. It wasn't as good. At least on SmackDown, the match was somewhat decent. This one was a little more sloppy. I'm surprised they did some of the maneuvers that they did, the lucha style. And not surprised, but it just seems like since I didn't see any reference to El Hijo, who, of course, tragically died in the ring over the weekend, they didn't make any reference to it. And then they had a setup for the 619 and everything, like Ray does. I was kind of surprised that they it just feels like they wouldn't have done that type of maneuver after that happening, but I don't know. I'm sure it was not even thought about, and I'm probably just overthinking things because that's what I do. But I just found it interesting, so I thought I'd bring it up. The match itself was not very good. Two funny things that happened in the match. There was a lot of ass to face. El Torito got his ass right in Cesaro's face. I mean, like balls. He wore a ball mask. He had taint on his nose. That was great. And then Natalya getting rolled up by the bull. His face was dug into her ass. Did you see that? That was great. He was in there. He was in there like swimwear. You know what I'm saying? Whoop-ah! He had that nose buried. That had to be awkward. The match was it was what it was. I would rather see Natalya be developed more like she was on SmackDown, but it was still, they got to set it up, and now this tag team match show just how little it matters has been relegated to the kickoff show. So I don't even know if I'm going to include it in my WrestleMania match breakdown now. Don't need to. It doesn't matter. So I'll probably skip a day today because I was going to do that match. So I'll skip today, and this will be just for this purposes, and say Kid Cesaro retain. Boom, there it is. But that's it, since it's a pre-show match now. So back to the action, shall we? So hour 36, hour 37 into it, Rusev just defeats Jack Swagger. Actually, it was a muscled-up looking Eugene versus Jack Swagger, a match I did not want to see again. The match wasn't terrible. It's just we've seen it a million times, and it doesn't do anything new. Swagger's a very good wrestler. Rusev is showing a lot of different depths to his game, but it's just, regardless if the match wasn't bad, which it wasn't, it's just a boring match, and I didn't care. And that's two matches in a row where I'm starting not to give a shit. Now, that being said, he does win with the Steiner recliner, which I absolutely love. Then, Cena comes out, and now it gets interesting. He immediately gets the upper hand on Cena. Cena gets thrown. He launches himself over to the announce table and takes some bad spots, which kind of pokes holes in my whole theory that he's hurt. But yet again, he doesn't wrestle. This is another event where Cena does not wrestle. I don't think he's wrestled a match, really. I mean, maybe he had a quick match with Axel, but he doesn't wrestle. And he's wrestled like one time in 6 weeks on television since Fastlane. So maybe he is hurt, maybe he's not. I don't know. Usually, if the heel goes over like that, he's not winning at WrestleMania. He absolutely dominated John Cena and then put the Steiner recliner back on him on the table, and it looked awesome. I'm giving a shit about Muscled Up Eugene. Muscled Up Eugene is looking very cool to me. I like him. Now, Rusev is doing a really good job, and he's being very interesting. And this match is getting more and more intriguing because I don't know which way it's going to go. It doesn't really make sense. It's another one of those matches. It doesn't make sense for Cena to win. Cena has nothing to accomplish by winning. Even him being United States champion doesn't accomplish much, I don't think. I don't think it's going to really help regulate the title unless they're going to put it on to somebody else, thus elevating them. But they've already done that with Rusev. I mean, I don't think Rusev is ready for a main event spot unless he's going to Reigns. If Reigns were to win, that's a possibility. Reigns being the next big heel and challenger for Rusev being the next big challenger for Reigns. If Reigns wins and Rusev loses, that's a possibility. But how could he be considered a competition for the World Heavyweight Championship if he just loses to Cena for the United States title? That doesn't make any sense. So this could only go one way to me. Rusev beating Cena in dramatic fashion. All logic, points to it. Logic dictates a victory for Rusev because no other booking style is really going to work. But then again, rules kind of go out the window when we're talking about the great John Cena. Logic certainly goes out the window when we're talking about John Cena. However, just the fact that I don't know what's going to happen, that I'm so thrown off because of the way they're booking it and the way that things are set up for after WrestleMania, which it seems like they really care about, I'm intrigued. And the fact that they're making Rusev look so strong against Cena also has me intrigued. So I can't wait to see that match. This is another one of those moments where a key match on the card at WrestleMania is being pointed to and shown why we need to watch WrestleMania. That's what a go-home show is supposed to be. So I don't care that the match with Swagger wasn't very good. We got 2 Steiner recliners, one on John Cena, one on Swagger to win a match, and the one on Cena was a Steiner recliner on the table. Can't beat that. Back to the action. Whoa. 1 hour, 46 minutes in. Bray Wyatt, brav frickin' vo. I have been especially critical of this match and Bray Wyatt giving the same promo every single week. Bray Wyatt, not only did you just convince me what I already knew, that you're going to friggin' win this match against The Undertaker, but Bray Wyatt, you have convinced me that you are the friggin' man. And all the strength that WWE has put into you over the past 6 months is well founded. That was not only the best promo of this bunch, it is Bray Wyatt's best promo since stepping into WWE. I love this promo. Take my place among the gods as the new face of fear. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Incredible. I loved everything about it. Great promo. Tingles up and down my spine from that promo. Might have been my stimulator. I don't know, but still, absolutely fantastic. Loved it. Can't wait to see the match, especially since The Undertaker is in shape. Now, I've been against this match. I didn't think it made sense. I thought Undertaker Brock 2 is the only match that The Undertaker should have at WrestleMania. I'm still standing with that. However, this is the hand that we have, and you know what? I'm more interested in it now than I have been the entire time, and it's because of this promo. This promo sold me on the match. Nothing else. Nothing else. Not the stupid lightning bolt. None of that shit. The lightning bolt hitting the chair didn't do nothing for me. This promo did. This was a good promo. This is the Bray Wyatt that I want to see. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I hope you guys did too. That was fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome. That should be a really cool match. I'm excited to see it now. Finally. And look, I could just be getting excited because we're 5 days away. This is Christmas for me. However, this Raw has consistently done what a go-home show is supposed to do. So, kudos frickin' does to WWE for getting it right so far. Let's check out what's next. 1 hour, 47 minutes in. They show Michelle Beadle, and then they show a homeless man. I know he's a record producer, but the wild hair, the beard, the gray, I mean, shit, I think I've given that guy $1 before. He's a very well-known music producer. That's great. But he was in a white t-shirt. Oh, God, that had me rolling. Oh, my God. Literal tears. Holy shit. Just a homeless man. He was just, I'm pretty sure I've given him a sandwich. Holy shit, that was funny. Okay, let's find out who the special guest referee is. Okay, the referee is Dean Ambrose. I think that was kind of given. But, okay, a couple of things. First, I want to talk about the Natalya Tyson Kidd spot. The Burger King thing, product placement. I don't mind all that. That's perfectly fine when it's funny. This was funny. Yes, it's an old joke, lost in translation. She thinks he's talking about something else. That's fine. But her reaction when she came around and sat on the couch with him and ate a piece of it, that was great. She's so sexy, and I love her personality. That was fantastic. I thought it was funny as hell. I must be in a good mood because I didn't even have a problem with that. And usually I would tear that to hell, I would think. But usually it's not done this good. And it was done well. So the other thing, I'm surprised. I'm legitimately shocked. Legitimately. That Kevin Nash and not Diesel will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Now you have to ask yourself why. Why was Kevin Nash inducted in under his name, but Scott Hall was inducted as Razor Ramon? Well, I think that there is a direct correlation for it. Kevin Nash had a career, a world title champion, a world champion several times over in both companies. Razor Ramon didn't. You have to look at it. Yes, Scott Hall did some great stuff in WCW, but he also suffered a lot of embarrassment. The name Scott Hall. If you type in Scott Hall, you're probably going to get one of his drunken escapades on Nitro. You type in Kevin Nash, you're going to get badassery wherever he goes. You type in Razor Ramon, you're going to get some amazing moments he had within WWE. So that's why I think probably he went in as Razor Ramon. If I had to speculate, if I had to guess, because I don't know. But that's what I'm guessing. Kevin Nash going in as Kevin Nash makes total sense. Total sense to me. But you know what? To be fair, it would have made total sense had Scott Hall gone as in Scott Hall. I don't know why. I'm just speculating. But if I had to guess, it would be for the reasons that I said. And I don't really have a problem with Kevin Nash going in as himself. In fact, I prefer it that way. It is what it is. Really good promo package, Hall of Fame induction package for Kevin Nash. I thought that was really well done. And it kind of makes you appreciate just how good Kevin Nash really was. Because he was. He's a joke. A lot of people make fun of him and, call him all these names and say that he's a cancer in business. And that might be true, and especially some of the shit he did in WCW and all of that. But you kind of forget how good he was. And he was amazing. I did not know he was the longest reigning champion of the 1990s. I had no idea. That's incredible. That's incredible. So that was cool. Main event time. Let's see what Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler with Dean Ambrose do for the main event. Okay, 2 hours and 7 minutes in. Fantastic match between Ziggler and Bryan. Why has Ziggler gone over Bryan 2 times in a row? I think that's what a lot of people, especially Bryan fans, have to be asking. Clean. He's gone over twice in the past last SmackDown and Raw. That's pretty damn incredible. I don't know what that's saying for the future. Maybe we've all got this wrong. Maybe Sheamus is not returning for that ladder match. Maybe he is returning in the Under the Giant Battle Royal. And maybe all this foreshadowing with Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler is for their future, their build, their battle over the Intercontinental Championship. I think there's 3 guys who have a legitimate big chance of winning this match. It's Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose. Everybody after that I think is kind of even money down way, way on the list. But those 3 I think have a really, really good chance of winning this damn thing. Bryan, Ziggler, Ambrose, if I had to rank them in order. But who knows? This is another one of those matches that they teased so well with that ending, with everyone coming in and doing a ladder spot and everything. That was cool. They teased this match and show us why this match is going to be so amazing. And I really do think it is going to be special for WrestleMania. It should steal the show. It should be damn right awesome. So here we go. The main promo time of the night. The face-off between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? What just happened? An epic promo by Paul Heyman. Epic by his standards. Epic. Roman Reigns grabs the belt out of Brock Lesnar's hands. I like that. That was cool. Crowd hated him, by the way. Crowd hated him. Not a Roman Reigns crowd. San Francisco should be a little more forgiving. But, LA did not like him. Woofa. I think this seals it, man. That reaction might seal it. Brock Lesnar's winning at WrestleMania. I think it seals it. But what the hell just happened? Brock and Roman grabbing the belt and tug of warring. Joe Cronin said it looked like two ladies over a purse. Did. Black Friday. Black Friday 31. Black Friday play button. It's fabulous. What the hell was that? And Brock grabbing it. It was bizarre, wasn't it? Jesus. Look, up until that, I got to say I really enjoyed Raw. I think it was a really, really cool Raw. I hope you guys liked the new way that I broke Raw down, watched it, and then gave reaction after each and every single segment. I think that was interesting, something a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please put it in the comment section below. If you didn't, put it in the comment section below. Tell me what I can do to get better every single day, because that's all that really matters to me. It might look a little disjointed because of the way I did it, but I'm hoping that everyone understands the way I did it and kind of lets the choppiness go to it. I think it was a lot of fun. I'm going to give Raw an 8, man. I got to give Raw an 8. I enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained throughout. The matches were all except good one really good. The promos were good. The setup for Mania was good. It was the first time where it seemed like every single match seemed to have a point of emphasis. There was some funny stuff. It was such a well-balanced show. It was very, very well-balanced. And I'm a little bit excited for Mania in a way that I haven't been in a while. You know, this entire build-up, for instance, I haven't been interested. I am now. So I'm going to check it out. I can't wait. Woo. I don't care if my back's falling off. I will be on the Joe Cronin Show Sunday for WrestleMania. And who knows what I'm going to do. If I might broadcast live during WrestleMania. I'm going to definitely broadcast after I'm done with the Joe Cronin Show. I'm going to go live right on this channel. Right when I'm done with Joe Cronin Show, I'm coming straight here and going live and giving my reaction. I don't give a crap how long I've been on. I'm doing it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Awesome. This should be a great week. You guys can get involved. I've reached out to a bunch of people, but if you want to give a reaction video, a prediction video for WrestleMania, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below, and we'll link up, and I'll tell you how to get that video to me, 5 minutes or less, and I will play it on this channel in a compilation of all kinds of videos for predictions. Okay? Sound like fun. Just so you know, SmackDown was also taped last night after Raw. So, from what I understand, only 2 matches were taped, and it's going to be a lot of promo work for SmackDown. So it doesn't really look like any other build-up for WrestleMania is going to happen outside of what we just saw. So take it for what it's worth. It should be interesting to see what they do with SmackDown and how much access stuff they put in, because there should be a lot. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Let's go ahead and let's go crazy this week. I'm going to do all kinds of videos outside of just the normal stuff that I do. This week is special. This week is different, and I will be doing different type of things for WrestleMania. Tomorrow we will continue on with our match breakdown. I'm not going to do today because of this Raw review and the fact that the tag team match is no longer a part of the actual card. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you go check out Joe Cronin Show review. They talked a lot of wrestling figures. The one time I'm not on the show, they talked the most wrestling ever. Never do that, but they did last night. I don't know why. And, of course, Tommy C over on Shot from the Point. Make sure you're checking him out as well. Shot from the Point on YouTube. Joe Cronin Show on YouTube. And everybody else, you guys, Tommy NC 2010, Dave Rose, all those guys. Make sure you're checking them out. They're all working their asses off. We will see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Oh, by the way, my daughter got her new Nerd Block Junior today, so that means that unboxing video is coming a little bit later on. So buckle up for that. I think I got another box, so there could be a double unboxing. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But thank you guys very much, and we will see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Peace.